Writers and Readers Against AI. The brilliant English writer Paul Kingsnorth recently launched a campaign for everyone who loves humans and human creativity. So if you also miss the good old days when you could read, listen, or watch something and know that a human made it, then please join this campaign. And please do it today. This is urgent. Due to generative AI, humanity is at a vital fork in the road. In all honesty, I think it's probably too late to save human-made art, but if we don't try, we'll never know. And if you're a Gen Xer like me or a boomer, then we seriously owe it to the kids, because we know how life-changing real music was to our childhood development. The term life-changing is thrown around a lot nowadays, but music literally changed our lives when we were growing up in the 70s, 80s, and early 90s. It's heartbreaking to think that kids are no longer experiencing that deep and profound meaning that music gave to our lives. Those bands that we lived for and couldn't stop thinking about not only made us who we are, but they helped us to cope with the screwed up world that just keeps getting more screwed up. This is why we owe it to the kids to try our best to wake people up to the consequences of generative AI. And the process begins by having conversations like this with our friends and family. On that note, please share this post with any open-minded person willing to listen. Here's an example of the reality we're living in with AI. So the other day I was listening to the new album by Icelandic singer-songwriter Asgeir. It's breathtakingly beautiful, but while I was halfway through the title track, Julia, a thought popped into my head. He could have used AI to write this. I really hope he didn't, but we'll never know. And that's what most non-musicians still don't seem to understand about generative AI. It's ubiquitous. It's being used in most new songs. In fact, when asked off the record, a shocking number of professional songwriters and producers admit to using generative AI when making music. This has been confirmed by well-connected industry insiders like journalist Kristen Robinson, who's a senior correspondent for Billboard and writes their Machine Learning's newsletter that covers the rapid impact of AI and other emerging tech on the music industry. And just a quick side note, if you want to learn my fast, easy, and fun method for making music, then visit my website, hackmusictheory.com. From beginner to advanced, there's something for you there, and most of them are free, so enjoy. If you're a beginner, start by reading my free book, 12 Music Theory Hacks to Learn Scales and Chords. It only takes about half an hour to read, then you'll have a solid foundation of the basics. If you're already making music though, you can work your way through 30 free PDF tutorials. There's step-by-step musical recipes that you follow to instantly make better music. All genres are there too, electronic to hip-hop, classical to metal, and everything in between. Have fun cooking up some new tunes. Then on top of the free book, 30 free PDFs, and over 220 free YouTube tutorials. I don't paywall any of these posts either, as I don't want to exclude anyone. But if you're enjoying all my free offerings and want me to make more, please support my work by becoming a paid subscriber. It's only about the cost of one coffee per month, but if enough people join, then I can pay the rent and keep doing this work. To sign up, please visit hackmusictheory.com/join. If you can't afford to at the moment though, no problem. You can give Hack Music Theory a 5-star rating in your podcast app. That supports my work too. Either way, thank you so much, and let's get back to the topic at hand. So even old school garage bands that record directly to vinyl could still be using generative AI in the writing process. Most of the band members would not even know. This disturbing fact is what we need to help people understand. You see, every time I speak out against AI, people leave comments saying that they're not fooled by AI-generated songs and that they can tell the difference. For now, let's forget about Deezer's recent survey that found 97% of people can't tell the difference between fully AI-generated songs and human-made songs. So putting that data to the side for now, here's the bigger problem, and I'll illustrate it with an example. When the new Foo Fighters album, Your Favorite Toy, is released in a few weeks, how will we know that Dave Grohl didn't use generative AI in the writing process? We can't. That's the short answer, because he could easily have used AI secretly at home while writing the songs. The other band members wouldn't even know. From what I've read, it sounds like the album was recorded in Dave's usual old school way and with his preference of analog gear. That's all great, but the fact remains he could have used generative AI to help him write the songs. I really hope he didn't, but we'll never know. That's the problem. That's what we need to help non-musicians understand. So when people say that they can tell the difference between AI-generated songs and human-made songs, they're just uneducated on the way that generative AI can be used in the writing process. This is our reality right now, and it's been like this for the last couple of years. To be clear, there's literally no way that anyone can know if a new song was written by a human, by AI, or by a combination of the two. If we want to be guaranteed that the music we're listening to is 100% human-made, then our only option is to stick with old recordings. I recommend albums from before 1997, because that way you also avoid auto-tuned vocals. Yes, the transhuman music agenda has been underway for decades. If you want a short history of this, check out my previous post titled AI Human versus Human AI. Now, back to Paul Kingsnorth's vital new campaign, Writers Against AI. The first thing to know is that it's actually for writers and readers. So even if you're not currently writing anything, you can join as a reader. Having said that though, I definitely encourage you to start a daily writing practice. But that's a topic for another post. For now, all you have to do is make 3 pledges and you're in. Here they are in Paul's words. Quote, "To support the campaign, a writer must make 3 pledges. 1. I will not use AI in my work as a writer. 2. I will not support writers who use AI in their work. 3. I will support writers, illustrators, editors, and others in related fields whose work is entirely human-made." The first of these points draws a line for our own creative work. We say, as storytellers, we will remain human. With the second, we refuse to lend our voices or our money to anyone who uses this technology to replace human creativity. Finally, we commit to doing something positive, supporting financially and morally other creators who are drawing the line too and refusing to be dehumanized. If you are a writer who agrees with these pledges and who wants to sign up to this campaign, well, that agreement is all it takes. End quote. So if you're feeling inspired to get involved, head on over to writersagainstai.net today and download the logo. Then use it on your website and social media to let your audience know that your creations are 100% human-made. And if you're a reader, you can download a Readers Against AI logo and post that on your social media and anywhere else that you can. Let the world know that you're pro-human and that you support human creativity. And please do this today. Time is of the essence. A heartfelt thank you for listening and welcome aboard the Songwriter's Ark, where all the music making skills are being preserved through this global AI flood. The flood shall pass, the skills will last.